Yes, the topic is projections of solids, and a question is given like this: a solid cylinder of diameter 60 mm and 80 mm axis length is lying on horizontal plane with its one of its circumferential line on HP and axis makes 30 degree to the VP. Draw its projections. Draw its projections means asked you to draw the final front view and final top view. So the diagram is completed in two steps. Step 1 is drawing the simple position diagram. Step 2 is to draw the final position diagram. So whenever the solid, here the solid is the cylinder, resting on which plane, that you have to consider. Resting on HP. So whenever solid rests on HP, that front view will come above the XY line, in contact with the XY line. So this is a simple position front view will be in contact with the XY line. The final front view will also be in contact with the XY line as resting on HP means. So first for completing the simple position front view and the top view, the object called cylinder, and you have to know that the top surface are marked in terms of letters. It's given as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and the base part of the cylinder resting on HP is marked in terms of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So the A point will be in coincidence with the base of the cylinder marked as number. B is in coincidence with the marked as number 2. So these are the marked points on the cylinder shown at in this object called. So first draw the front view called a simple position front view. So draw one circle of diameter 60 mm. So radius will be half of that. So take 30 mm radius in your compass and draw a circle using HB pencil, and it is divided into 8 segments like this, and it is marked as A dash, B dash, C dash, D, E, F dash, G dash, H dash. So also the base of the cylinder is marked in terms of numbers, that is 1 dash written in bracket, because seeing from the top A is seen first. And the merger point will be written in terms of bracket, putting in bracket, that is 1 dash. So the merger points are numbers, that is base part of the cylinder are marked in terms of numbers, marked as inside the bracket 1 dash, 2 dash, in coincidence with B dash will be the 2 dash, C dash coincidence point will be 3 dash, D dash coincidence point will be 4 dash, like that you mark up to 8 segments, that is H dash in coincidence with 8 dash. So first you have to draw the circle. This is a simple position front view. It's drawn first. So next you draw the XY line called the reference line in contact with the lower part of the cylinder like this. So if you're touching with the cylinder, that is touching with the circumference of the circle, draw one line, horizontal line using your drafter scale. That is horizontal scale of your drafter, and it is marked as XY, X and Y, called the reference line. And the next is to draw the simple position top view. So top view will always come below the XY line. So this distance called in front of VP, that is this is a cylinder shown in the top view as a rectangle. This is completed, leaving some gap between the XY line and this end surface. Some gap, you can take your own gap. This distance is called in front of VP. You can take your own distance by referring to previous videos, how it is what is the contributions of this distance called in front of VP. Some distance you can take your own distance and draw a line using HB pencil like this. This is one end of the cylinder called the base. This is top surface and this will be the base surface, base marked as numbers. So you can complete this rectangle as the length of the cylinder or the axis length is given as 80 mm. So taking 80 mm in your scale and complete this rectangle. Before that you have to draw the projection line from a point A dash. Draw a vertical projector using the vertical scale of your drafter by 2H pencil like this from B dash. B dash will be coincidence with H dash. C dash will be coincidence with G dash. D dash will be coincidence with F dash. Draw vertical projectors like this using 2H pencil. Then complete this rectangle. This height of the rectangle will be 80 mm as the length of the cylinder. So these are the projection lines shown at here like this. The front part of the cylinder is marked in terms of letters A, B, C, D, E. So F is written in bracket because it is coincided with the point D. C is coincident point with C will be G. coincident point with B will be H. Similarly, the end surface marked as numbers. So the hidden points are marked in terms of by putting in inside the bracket. So what I mean to say is, so if you see from the top, this is point A, and the point B is merged with point H, that you can see. C is merged with the point G. Seen from the top, you can G is seen first, and the hidden point for G will be C. So that is written in bracket like this. So after drawing this rectangle called the simple position top view, next we go for final front view and top view. That is, this is the diagram shown at here. So it is given that the axis is inclined at 30 degree to the VP. So take a point on the XY line away from this front view and top view, anywhere it can be located. So let us locate this as a point, and using your protractor, draw an inclined line at an angle of 30 degree. By keeping your protractor like this and draw an inclined line. So this angle of inclination is 30 degree. So also you may know that whenever a line is inclined, called the axis, here the axis is inclined at 30 degree to the VP. Axis is basically a line, imaginary line connecting the top surface and the base part of the cylinder. Is inclined at 30 degree to the VP. So what I want to say is, whenever the axis is inclined to VP means that angle of inclination will come below the XY line. So again I repeat, whenever axis is inclined to VP means that angle of inclination will come below the XY line. Similarly, whenever a angle, that is axis, is inclined to HP means it will come above the XY line. That is the difference. So based on the previous videos, you can understand this concept. So after drawing this 30 degree inclined line, so keep your longer scale of your drafter in coincidence with this 30 degree inclined line, just by rotating the nut in anti-clockwise, so that the scale will be released like this. So in coincidence with this 30 degree inclined line, keep your edge of the scale in coincidence with this 30 degree inclined line and rotate the nut in clockwise, so that the scale is tightened and it is not released. So with this same setting of your drafter, these lines are constructed. This rectangle is constructed. Then how to construct this rectangle, that I will explain. So the radius of the cylinder is 30 mm. So diameter is given as 60. So radius will be half of that, called 30 mm. So in this inclined line, anywhere below the XY line, a point is chosen and draw one inclined line like this, using the another scale of your drafter. After keeping over this axis line, so using the another scale, you can construct this line. The length of the line is equal to the diameter of the cylinder. So radius is 30 mm. So from this point, on this inclined line, choose any point, so that this rectangle comes below the XY line like this. Here some gap may be given. You can take your own gap, and some gap may be given, called the in front of VP, certain distance. It is not given in the question. You can take your own distance and take a point on this inclined line. Let us take this as a point. Draw one inclined line like this. So using this scale, you can construct this line, so that on this inclined line, axis line, this side will be 30 and another will be 30. So 30 plus 30 will be 60 mm, equal to the diameter of the cylinder. Then you can construct this length part of this rectangle, that is 80 mm. From here to 80, you can draw this line. From here, you can draw the length equal to 60 mm. Then finally, you can complete this rectangle by joining these two end points, so that you will obtain two rectangles, one at here, another at here. The size and shape of the rectangle will be the same. Only here it is vertical and here it is inclined. The orientation changes, but the size shape will remain the same. And so after drawing this rectangle called the final top view, so you locate the points. So here it is shown at numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 will be redrawn and marked like this as 1, suffix 1, 2, suffix 1, 3, suffix 1, 4, suffix 1, 5, suffix 1, 6, suffix 1, 7, suffix 1, 8, suffix 1. Similarly, the lower part, that is this part of the cylinder, is shown by letters. It's marked as like this. So the same rectangle, just after tilting, it becomes like this. So whatever the points given at here is cut and pasted like this. So after constructing this top view called the final top view is one of the answer. Then how to construct the final front view? This I'll explain now. So now you reset your draft scale by rotating the nut in anti-clockwise. So the scale will be released, and reset your draft scale by keeping the edge of the scale, longer scale, in coincidence with this XY line. Then you rotate the nut in clockwise so that the scale will not be disturbed. So from point A suffix 1, draw a vertical projector using the vertical scale of your drafter by 2H pencil, and draw one horizontal projector from A suffix A1, A dash, A dash. So this A and this A will intersect at a point that is marked as A suffix 1 dash. Same you repeat for B suffix 1 vertical projector by 2H pencil. Then from B dash you draw horizontal projector. Both intersect at a point is marked as B suffix 1 dash. Repeat for all the 8 points shown by letters, and it is marked as A suffix 1 dash, B suffix 1 dash, C suffix 1 dash, D suffix 1 dash, E suffix 1 dash, F suffix 1 dash, G suffix 1 dash, H suffix 1 dash. So this ellipse is constructed first. And draw a smooth curve passing through these obtained points. The profile obtained will be ellipse. It is drawn by using freehand. Don't use a scale for this. Just by freehand curve you complete this ellipse. The profile is ellipse. Similarly, the rear part, that is back side of the rectangle, that is cylinder. Cylinder is given in terms of numbers. So from point 1 suffix 1, draw a vertical projector by 2H pencil. Draw horizontal projector from 1 dash. Both intersect at a point called marked as 1 suffix 1 dash. Repeat for 2 vertical projector, horizontal projector from earlier, that is from the front view. What you repeated for this ellipse. Similarly, construct these vertical projectors, horizontal projectors. So marked as 1 suffix 1 dash, 2 suffix 1 dash, 3 suffix 1 dash, like that you follow up to 8 suffix 1 dash. Draw a smooth curve passing through these obtained points. The profile obtained will be called as ellipse. Both the ellipse will be of same symmetrical. As the diameter is same, the shape of the profile or the curvature obtained will be the same, called ellipse. And you must know that one half of the ellipse will be continuous line, shown by continuous line, and another half of the ellipse is shown by discontinuous line, marked as shown at a dashed line. This sort of line is called as a dashed line. As this half of edge of the ellipse will be hidden, not directly visible in the front view. But it is available. That is shown or indicated by means of dashed line. So it is also drawn by freehand. So don't use a scale for this. And this completes the final front view and final top view. So for solids like cylinder, cone, so in which we are getting the circular shape, that has to be drawn first. So simple position front view is drawn first for this case, top view, then final position top view, then final position front view. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a sequence of the order, sequence of diagram followed is shown. And finally you can note that the circumferential line, it is written that circumferential line G7 lying on HP. That is, G is a point. The contact point on the XY line is G and 7. This is one of the circumferential, that is G suffix 1 means G and 7. So you can see this diagram, you see this object G, this point called G, is measured with the point 7. That is, will have the same, it's on the same line. So that is this shown at here. So you have to join G suffix 1 dash and 7 suffix 1 dash by using the horizontal scale of your drafter, connected by using HB pencil. So the two ellipses have to be connected because it's a lateral surface, outside surface. Similarly, C suffix 1 is connected with 3 suffix 1 by means of HB pencil. Then you can dimension this circle and the height of the cylinder by means of leader line. The circle is indicated by shown by means of leader line drawn like this, putting arrowheads on both the ends of the line. So diameter is indicated by means of notation called pi. So pi 60 is written, and 80 is the length of the cylinder. It's written by means of dimension. This line is called dimension line. It's a thin line and drawn by using HB pencil, and this line is called extension line. Some small gap is given between the object line and this extension line. Here and here some small gap, 1 or 2 mm gap is given between the extension line and the object line. So all these object line are drawn by using HB pencil, and all these projections lines are drawn by using 2H pencil. And this 30 degree is the angle of inclination with VP is marked as 30 degree by putting arrowheads on both the ends of this curvature. So finally, all dimensions are in mm is written below your drawing by using guidelines. Two guidelines are drawn by using 2H pencil, and the gap between the guidelines may be 5 mm, 6 mm like that. Don't give more gap. So if you give more gap between the guidelines, your letter height will increase, and that takes more time to complete these wordings. So write all dimensions are in mm. Mm means that this 80, 60 or represents millimeter. And the scale followed is a full scale called 1:1. So whatever given size of the cylinder is same as drawn in the sheet without increasing or decreasing its size. So it is called full scale, written as 1:1. So this is how the drawing appears when drawn on the drawing sheet for the given question. So practice well using drafter scale and score good marks. Thanks for listening.